Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another Through My Letterbox video. This is going to take a little while. I blame sales and offers and also eBay. It's not my fault, it's a disease. So I've just separated these out into rough kind of sections. So the first section I'm going to show you are some steelbooks that I've picked up. Again, please let me know in the comments which one of these films you have or you've seen, what you thought of them, or which ones that I should desperately watch first, even though my backlog is absolutely huge and growing, sadly. There just aren't enough hours in the year. So the first one I got is the Demons and Demons 2 steelbook. I'll just briefly show you the inside. Again, these aren't great films. The first one is certainly better than the second one, but it's such a lovely box. The next one was an upgrade for me. This is a steelbook of A Prophet. Zavi in the UK were having some ridiculous prices for steelbooks, so this is the complete Die Hard, which I thought would actually be bigger. Also, I have these in Blu-ray anyway, but this is the 5 films. They are just put on one on top of each other, but that was only down to £20, and on Amazon, for example, it's anywhere between 30 and 55. So there, basically. Next one is Monsters, which I think was £7. Again, it's a nice little film. Gareth Edwards, who obviously would go on to do Godzilla, which wasn't terrible, and then Rogue One, I believe, which was fairly terrible. But Monsters is a little example of a good little film with not much budget, but you can still make it atmospheric. The next pile is some Eureka Masters of Cinema. This one is the Lubitsch in Berlin. I've been meaning to get it for so long, so I just decided to purchase it. I do love Ernst Lubitsch. Hopefully one day Shop Round the Corner will get a Blu-ray release. But obviously To Be or Not to Be is one of my favourite films of all time, as is Shop Round the Corner for that matter. The original Heaven Can Wait, not the Warren Beatty one, the Don Amici one's fantastic as well. So I thought I would get 6 silent films from Germany. The next one is not a Masters of Cinema, but it's Eureka's release of Lucky with Harry Dean Stanton. This was his final film. Again, if you saw my video on Ricky Jay and character actors, I mean, Harry Dean Stanton is another one who was just a fantastic actor, but again, because he was always a character actor, probably never got the credit he deserved. This also has a documentary on him, which features David Lynch and Wim Wenders, Chris Christopherson and Debbie Harry. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Let me know what it's like. But I mean, Harry Dean Stanton's fantastic. This was really a recommendation by Nazarene Productions, which I'll leave a link on his channel because he talks about really interesting films that maybe nobody else really talks about. And this is For All Mankind, the documentary, and this is Masters of Cinema Spine number 5. Again, I still haven't seen that yet. And this is Spine number 1 in the Masters of Cinema F.W. Murnau's Sunrise, which I saw a long time ago, and I just thought it was cheap. So, and F.W. Murnau stuff really disappoints. So, picked up a few Criterions. This is the Region A Blu-ray of Yojimbo and Sanjuro. Now I have these both on Blu-ray already on the BFI Samurai collection, but that's just a box set. And this is, it's the beautiful Criterion edition. The spine numbers 52 and 53. Again, no offence to eBay sellers, but why would you sell this? I mean, obviously to get money, strangely enough, but and this worked out a lot cheaper than buying it brand new from Amazon.com because it is quite pricey, but it's in really good condition, and I love Kurosawa, so how can you not? It's they're really no-brainers. And this is spine number 645, Ballad of Narayama, even. This has a lovely book as well. Again, this is an upgrade. I had the Studio Canal version, but the packaging is really annoying. The disc keeps falling out. Plus this is Criterion. This is Mulholland Drive, David Lynch's fantastic Mulholland Drive. And this is spine number 779. This is Region A Blu-ray. There's the infamous key. Yeah, I mean, getting a multi-region Blu-ray player is either the best thing that's ever happened to me or the worst thing that's ever happened to me, depending on your view of spending money on films. There's an image for you. Yeah, it's a lovely booklet. It's Criterion, and it is one of my favourite films. There's the cowboy. If you do what we tell you, you'll see me one more time, and if you don't, you'll see me 2 more times. The scene where the guys are talking in the diner and then go around the back of the diner is quite disturbing. This one is an absolutely beautiful edition. You could actually argue this is the most beautiful looking edition in Criterion's collection, and that's saying something. This is spine 432, Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters by Paul Schrader. I mean, look at that cover. It's literally golden. Again, this is a film I haven't seen for so long, and I am in a bit of a Paul Schrader mood after watching Hardcore again on Indicator for the first time in years. And there's a lovely Criterion booklet, as you'd expect, with some fantastic images from the film. Yeah, Paul Schrader just kind of never really gets talked about, but I mean, Blue Collar, his debut is like arguably one of the best debuts of all time, and it's such a great film. And the next one is The Tree of Life, Terrence Malick. And the reason I got this, spine number 942, is really to see the extended cut, which is about 3 hours. This also has a documentary about the Tree of Life featuring David Fincher and Christopher Nolan. I didn't love the Tree of Life the first time I saw it. I liked parts of it, but you kind of felt that it maybe wasn't the complete vision, just due to time constraints. But of course now this is the 3 hour version, so hopefully it will be more of the fully realised vision. I know Sean Penn, when it was released theatrically, he was kind of a little bit upset because there was lots of scenes with him that were cut out. So let me know in the comments if you have seen the longer version and what you thought of it, whether it was better than the theatrical version or not. Because I know certainly for me, the Apocalypse Now and the Redux of Apocalypse Now, there was such a big deal about, the Redux is coming out. But for me, the Redux wasn't actually better than the original cut, the 139 version. But let me know what you think about the Tree of Life Extended Edition if you've seen it. The next one is a Shameless title on Blu-ray. This is spine number 13. This is The Case of the Bloody Iris. Another one I haven't seen, and this is Giuliano Carnemio, which I don't think I have any of his other works. So Shameless are always entertaining. And the next 4 are Indicator. Now I do have to say, I did get some titles in the Indicator sale, but they are still processing their orders, so that'll probably be the next through my Letterbox video. Because sadly I have been buying stuff since this massive bunch of things. So I did purchase, I think, 6 or 7 titles on that. But these are the ones I got from other sources. These are a couple of pre-orders. This is The Wrong Box. This is Spine 141 from 1966, with the star-studded cast of John Mills, Ralph Richardson, Michael Caine, Peter Cook, Dudley Moore, Annette Newman, Tony Hancock and Peter Sellers. Again, I'm sure I've seen it before a long time ago. And the next one I'm excited to see, again, is another pre-order, and this is Michael Powell's Age of Consent, which also contains The Boy Who Turned... not The Boy Who Turned Yellow. This has a ton... That is The Boy Who Turned Yellow, 1972, which was his last film with Pressburger. This has a ton of extras on it. This might be one of those things that the extras might actually be better than the film. This has 2005 restoration of director's cut, which is 107 minutes. The studio cut's 100 minutes. It's got a commentary. It has the John Player lecture with Michael Powell from 1971, which is 85 minutes long. It has a Guardian interview with Michael Powell and Pressburger, which is 105 minutes long, which is an audio which you can play over the film. Certainly looking forward to that one, because as you might know, Powell and Pressburger are right up there, my favourite directors of all time. There's a 38-minute appraisal by Ian Christie, who wrote Arrows of Desire, which is a great book if you're interested in Powell and Pressburger. I highly recommend that book. We have a making of for 17 minutes from 2009. We have Scorsese talking about it 6 minutes. Again, I'm actually leaning towards Scorsese's greatest achievement isn't actually his films, it's his part in the restoration of films and getting directors like Michael Powell reappraised, or bringing their work back into the public spotlight. There is a 2009 13-minute conversation with Helen Mirren. There is a 10-minute conversation with Ron and Valerie Turner, who did the underwater shots and more famously did the underwater photography for Jaws. Again, there's The Boy Who Turned Yellow, which is a 1972 54-minute film, which is a final collaboration. Theatrical trailer, booklet, limited to 3,000 copies. This is spy number 112, and for any overseas viewers, it's multi-region. The wrong box is multi-region too. Again, Indicator just do great stuff. It's funny, in the UK, certainly on digital, there's a digital channel called Talking Movies, and it's funny how many Indicator titles actually turn up. It might actually be my favourite film channel, because there's a lot of stuff from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that turn up on it. It's not in high definition though, it's just so the picture quality's not great, but they do have some nice little films on it, as an aside. And the two box sets, as you might have worked out who the person is in the bottom left corner, but these are the two Ray Harryhausen box sets from Indicator. Now, I got these from Zavi, because Zavi were doing a 30% off selected Indicator titles. So I got volume 1 and volume 2 pretty much for, well, these are either between £40 and £45 depending where you're looking, and I got the pair for like 53, so I had to do it. So this is volume 1, and these are spined 41, 42 and 43. These are limited to 6,000, so this is number 578. I believe these were part of the Indicator sale as well themselves. Again, I'll just have a quick look. Again, the box is nice and sturdy. So this is spine 41. It Came From Beneath the Sea. This is 79 minutes from 1955, and I'm not going to go into the extras, but there's a ton of extras. This is spine number 42, 20 Million Miles to Earth. Again, 82 minutes from 1957. And this is spine number 43, Three Worlds of Gulliver. This is from 1960, 99 minutes. And this is the lovely booklet, 75 page booklet on Harryhausen and the making of, and lots of fantastic stuff, as you'd expect from Indicator. Indicator's box sets are just awesome. Again, if you're just buying films just to watch them, and you're not really interested in extras and stuff, then Indicator's probably not a label for you. But if you're into extras and making of and history, Indicator are really good. So this is volume 2, and this is 1961 to 1964, and this is 3 films: Mysterious Island, Jason and the Argonauts, and The First Men in the Moon. So again, the extras on this are fairly immense. It's spine numbers 51, 52 and 53. It has a lovely book. Look at that, that's fantastic. And again, this is another 75 page booklet, just going through the films and the making of. There is actually lots of commentaries by Ray Harryhausen on the films. So this is spine number 53, this is The First Men in the Moon. And this is 1964 and 103 minutes. And again, For any overseas friends, these are all multi-region. Spine number 52, everybody's favourite Jason and the Argonauts. I mean, how many times did you see that as a kid at Christmas? And spine number 51, Mysterious Island. And this is from 1961 and it's 101 minutes. So I just thought, I mean, originally I wasn't really going to buy them at the original price. Again, I'm not going to collect all the indicator titles, I'm only going to buy select ones. But really, at the price, I couldn't really not buy them. I suppose I could have not bought them, but where's the fun in that? So the next pile, this could be a long video. The next pile, HMV in the UK are doing a 2 for £15 on the premium collection. Usually they're 2 for £25, but they're doing a 2 for 15. So you know how this ends. This is spine number 74 from 1936. This is Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. A lot of these I had on DVD, so they're upgrades to Blu-ray. Spine number 18 from 1960, The Time Machine. Again, all these have various amounts of extras and they all have the cards, nice photographs. I'm not going to go through them all because there's far too many of them. Spine number 37 from 1967, John Boorman's Point Blank with Lee Marvin. Yeah, I really learned a lot from Lee Marvin on one of the commentaries from The Killers. The fact that when he was in the Pacific in World War II, he was only one of the 300 out of 9,000 in his platoon that survived, and he felt really guilty about that. And throughout his career he wanted to show violence properly and show it as being nasty and brutal and horrible, and he always felt guilty about actually surviving the Second World War, which I think is really quite interesting. Speaking of the Second World War, this is spine number 63 from 1955, Bad Day at Black Rock. Again, these are ones that I might not have bought when they were 2 for 25. You always wait for the 2 for 15. This is spine number 75, 1938. This is You Can't Take It With You, Frank Capra. Another great Jimmy Stewart. This is from 1967, number 72, Wait Until Dark. Alan Arkin, one of my favourite actors. Yeah, if I read the year and the year out, you should actually be able to shout out what the title is. This is number 47 from 1941, Maltese Falcon, which I've never actually had on DVD. So I'm perfectly justified. This is from 1986, it's number 14, it's The Mission. I mean, when it's all said and done, I'm going to do kind of updates to my collection. So an updated indicator, an updated criterion, an updated premium collection, because obviously I have been buying a fair few number of films. This is from 1931 and it's spine number 36, it's Edward G. Robinson's Little Caesar. And yes, I'm showing these not in spine order, but obviously when I do the collection video update they'll be in spine order. This is number 13 from 1981, John Boorman's Excalibur. And speaking of Ray Harryhausen, this is number 55 from 1969, Valley of the Gwangi. Another film we saw as children at Christmas quite a lot. And the final one, I thought I'd finish with a comedy. So number 68 from 1984. 1984. So that's the premium collection. There's still 2 more piles left. I apologise for this video lasting forever, but even if you pause halfway through and go and live your life for a few days and then come back. So this is just general ones. I did pick up 3 DVDs, only because I can't find them on Blu-ray. This is one that bizarrely I haven't seen, even though I really ought to have. This is Executive Action. This is essentially JFK 20 years before Oliver Stone did JFK, with Burt Lancaster, and Robert Ryan. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. The next one was a recommendation by Daisuke Beppu. This is The Emperor's Naked Army Marches On. This is a film. That is a documentary. Yeah, it's Kazuhara. It's about a military officer responsible for Messi's deaths of several fellow soldiers. And Daisuke recommended it, so I have it and I shall watch it and I shall let you know how it is. Intrigued by that one. And the next one is definitely a midnight movie. It's Tears of the Black Tiger, which looks like it should have been made in the 60s, but it was actually made fairly recently, at the beginning of the millennium. So that looks like a lot of fun. And now I've suddenly realised I'll just finish off the randoms, and then I have 88 films because they were doing a sale, and some Arrow. Yes, there's still some Arrows that I don't have. So the first one is Muppet Treasure Island and the Great Muppet Caper. Now this is really for Muppet Treasure Island. As you can see, Tim Curry in the top right hand corner. Controversially, I think Muppet Treasure Island is the best Muppet film. You can let me know in the comments if you disagree. I know everybody says Christmas Carol, but for me, Muppet Treasure Island is essential. I have heard the transfer isn't brilliant, but the only way I could find it on Blu-ray was with the Muppet Caper. So Muppet Treasure Island. And the next one is Second Sight's release of Betty Blue. And this includes the director's cut and the theatrical cut. The director's cut is over 3 hours. I remember seeing that actually in the cinema. The next one is a fun little film, Wolfen, with Albert Finney and Gregory Hines. It's a socio-political werewolf film. This was a chance. Let me know if you've seen either of these. This is a double bill. It's Nightwing and Shadow of the Hawk. This is a Region A release, a double bill. The next one is Korean, and I do love some Korean cinema. This is The Man from Nowhere. And again, let me know if you've seen any of these. And this one is some Giallo. Death Laid an Egg. Hopefully the film won't lay an egg. And this is Jean-Louis Trintignant and Gina Lollobrigida. It's supposed to be quite trippy in 60s. The next one, if you're still with me, is one I've been meaning to get for a while. This is The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith. It's not the easiest film to get on Blu-ray, but I'm glad I finally found it. Looking forward to watching this. And The next one again is a recommendation by Nazarin Productions. Again, I'll leave a link to his channel. But this is two films by Carol Zeman. The first one is The Fabulous Baron Munchausen. And again, this really has some good extras, including a 102-minute documentary about Zeman. And this is a new release, Invention for Destruction. Well, a new release as far as second run are concerned. So looking forward to seeing them. And this is one of the Carpenters I don't have, Prince of Darkness. Again, it's maybe excuse me, it's maybe not his, well, it's not his best film, but looking forward to watching it again. This has a making of, an interview, and a commentary with Carpenter, which John Carpenter's commentaries are always fun. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing that on Blu-ray. The next one is a new release as well. It's Laurence Olivier and the Entertainer. Now remember this being really bitter and cynical. To me, my two favourite Laurence Olivier performances are probably this and Sleuth. Why is Sleuth not get a Blu-ray release? But the remake with Jude Law has about 5 different editions on Blu-ray. This one I just had to get. It's Flirt by Hal Hartley. If you don't know, Hal Hartley is a great little independent director who was fairly prolific in the 90s, but has kind of slowed down over the years. This is, you can't really find this on Blu-ray very often, so I just had to get it. This is it's the same script filmed 3 times. One in New York, one in Tokyo, and one in Berlin. And it's just about a flirt, basically, played by 3 different people, and it's the exact same script. Yeah, Hal Hartley, his voice is kind of unique in the same way that Lanthimos and David Mamet's language, you kind of automatically know who they are, and Hal Hartley was doing this in the 90s. His dialogue is just so fantastic, and again the actors can have an odd delivery. I mean, this might not be his best film. I'll probably do like a top 5 Hal Hartley at some point, but certainly if you want to see Hal Hartley at his best, try and check out Trust from 1990, or Amateur from 1994, or even Unbelievable Truth from 1989, I think, and Simple Men, sorry, from 1992. Check out them because they're fantastic. Flirt's more experimental. The first and the third part are probably better than the second part. It's a little bit uneven, but it's so playful in the fact that he does the same script 3 times. It is a little, it's a delightful little film that really needs, or Hal Hartley in general is one of those directors that really needs more exposure. Sorry for the rambling nature. The next one is A Bronx Tale with De Niro, which has essentially went out of print. The original run is up to like 30 quid or 50 quid on Amazon sellers, but I managed to get this one. It's maybe not a great film, but it is a very good film. There's just classic moments. If you haven't seen it, De Niro gives a great performance, and Chaz Palminteri, who wrote it, it's from his own play, is just fantastic as Sonny, the gangster who is kind of teaching De Niro's son about life. De Niro's working man speech is absolutely fantastic. Chaz Palminteri's scene with a bunch of bikers coming into the bar, I asked you to leave and now you can't leave. is just fantastic. So overall, it's maybe a little bit uneven. It's not perfect, but it's a really good film, and I just thought I better get it while I can, because like I said, I think it's slowly going out of print. The next one is Heaven Forfend, a new film. This is Three Billboards. I kind of like Martin McDonagh. Not so much love him, but I do like his films. I think this, despite being ultra sweary and ultra strong sweary, is really good. People have complained about the ending because people just want everything tied up and people want easy answers, and this doesn't give you easy answers. These films don't. Frances McDormand is fantastic as always, and it's a really good film, and I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I've only watched it once, so I need to maybe watch it a couple more times to concrete my rating, but certainly one of the better modern films, if you can believe that, a modern film that's half decent. The next one is just big dumb fun, hopefully. This is Rampage by Dwayne Johnson. Let me explain. It was cheap. Sometimes you just need big dumb fun. That's the joy of cinema. You know, you can buy the Bergman box set, and then you can buy Rampage with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm a fan of Kong Skull Island. Obviously it's not a great film, but it is big dumb fun. And its heart was in the right place. So we'll see what this is like. It was cheap. Don't judge. The next one is one I picked up just because I saw the trailer on As the Gods Will, the Takashi Miike film that I did a random review of recently. This is Parasite, based on a manga, so you know it's going to be interesting, and from the cover you can certainly tell it's probably going to be interesting. And this is part 1, so they're not even going to give you a cliffhanger. There is a part 2 and it's out. So I thought I would pick this up because it did look rather interesting. The next one, was really cheap. It's the Quiller Memorandum, which again I think I saw a long time ago. Apparently it's not that great, which is surprising considering the people that are in it. It's George Segal, Alec Guinness, Max von Sydow, George Sanders, Robert Helpman. It was written by Harold Pinter, and the score was by John Barry. How can it not be good? The next one again was cheap. I think it was $3.99. It's Dream Home from 2010, which I saw a few years ago and thought it was a nice little film. It's another Korean film. You can't really go wrong with Korean films these days, I think. The next one, The Illustrated Man, Rod Steiger, based on Ray Bradbury. Again, this is another anthology film. This is a mixed bag, I think you'll agree. Again, why have only vanilla when you can have raspberry ripple? This is an Otto Preminger box of 3 films: Fallen Angel, Whirlpool, and Where the Sidewalk Ends. And again, every time I see this, it's quite expensive, and this was the cheapest I saw it at, so I just had to kind of get it. I had to, I tell you. It has a nice little book and slim Blu-ray covers. Where the Sidewalk Ends is one of the bleaker cop noir films with Dane Andrews in 2 of these. And the last one out of the miscellaneous bundle, again, is one I haven't seen, and it was just a chance because it was cheap. This is Thin Ice. Again, let me know what you think if you've seen it before. And again, I just kind of got this because Alan Arkin's in it, and I love Alan Arkin, and Billy Crudup's always good, and Greg Kinnear is generally pretty good as well. So it was cheap. and it has one of the more annoying reviews that says wickedly entertaining. It's the reviews that say films are an instant classic, which is an oxymoron, obviously. There's no such thing as an instant classic. So the last pile, honest, 88 Films stupidly had a sale on. They had a Bacon Friday Sausage Monday sale, where if you spent £50 you got a tenner off, and if you spent £100 you got £25 off. So I took advantage of that. So I got some 88 Films Asia and some 88 Film slashers. So the first Asian one is Sea Fog. Again, let me know if you've seen it before. This comes in a nice little case, if you can see that. The next one is Hansel and Gretel, which comes again with a nice slipcase. Next one is Spine 14 in the Asia collection, that's Casino Tycoon. The next one is Spine number 12 from the Asia collection, Bewitched. Again, let me know if you've seen these and which ones I should watch first. This is Spine number 9, The Oily Maniac. And again, I'll be doing a updated 88 film collection at some point as well. So the next two are the Slashers collection. This is Spine number 10, The Boogeyman, or The Bogeyman, which certainly in Scotland means things you find up your nose, so I'm not really sure that's exactly the translation they want. And Spine number 12 from 1981, Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, which I do believe the title might be better than the film, but we'll have a look. And two Italian collection 88 films. So this is Spine number 14 from 1981, Burial Ground. And again, I'll do an updated collection video for 88 films Italian collection. And this is Spine number 46, it's a new release, Rats, which now the price has went through the roof on Amazon, so I was quite glad to get this cheap in the 88 film sale. You can see that. Granted, Rats Night of Terror, I have no idea what that film's about though, so maybe if you could tell me what the film's about, I would really appreciate it. And the next one is The Scream Factory, The Phantom of Paradise, and again, shout out to Nazarene Productions for reminding me about this film. Again, I saw it years ago, but Scream Factory is the special features, a 2-disc. Scream Factory are always good value for money. It's just a shame they're region A for those of us that don't have a, or if you don't have a multi-region player. The next one is a film I hadn't heard of, but I love Ray Milland, and this is the Kino Lorber release of A Man Alone. To be honest, I can't remember seeing Ray Milland in a western. Plus you get the added bonus of Raymond Burr and Lee Van Cleef. And it's got a commentary by a film historian, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's actually directed by Ray Milland. And again, Lee Van Cleef, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Kino Lorber I talked about in one of my 10 films that should get a Blu-ray release, and just like that, it's got a Blu-ray release. Very much like True Stories, which is coming out in Criterion, which I should have hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Made for Each Other by Carol Lombard and Jimmy Stewart. Even though Carol Lombard kind of did a lot of comedies, obviously if she had lived longer, I think she would have went into drama and been equally as good in drama, and this is a bit of both. If you think it's going to be laugh out loud funny, you're going to be a bit shocked. It's about a young couple struggling with life and a sick child. It is actually deceptively fantastic. And the last pile, you'll be happy to know, this is Arrow. And again, there are some Arrows that I don't have, believe it or not. So this one is The Last House on the Left, the special 3-disc edition. Now, I think this is definitely one of the cases of the extras being better than the film. I don't think The Last House on the Left really ages well. I think you have to remember again when it was made. It was one of the video nasties. But I think there's other video nasties that kind of hold up better than this does. But the extras in this are just phenomenal. There's 3 separate cuts of the film. There's a bunch of commentaries and archive interviews. But there's also the soundtrack. And I have to tell you, the soundtrack is a very nice little soundtrack. It's actually surprisingly upbeat. But again, that might just be in juxtaposition with the film. But it's actually a really good soundtrack. So that was kind of one of the reasons for getting it. This was a purchase on eBay, and again, it was a lot cheaper than trying to track down a copy now, because I think it's pretty much out of print. I'll just give you a quick look, because if you've been here for the 3 hours of this video, you might as well be here for an extra 10 minutes. So it's a 3-disc, there's cards, there is a very nice book. So again, as a film, I don't think it's actually that good. It's maybe a 3 star out of 5, and that's maybe being a little bit kind to it. And there's a poster. Again, keep repeating, it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. But the extras on it are just fantastic. And like I said, it's a really nice soundtrack. I mean, it's not Morricone, but it's nice and jolly and surprisingly good. So the next one is The Climber. And then again, we have a film that probably the extras in the presentation might be better than the actual film. It's Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but this has the nice purple embossed slipcover and a ton of special features. I mean, this film is exactly what it says in the tin. It literally is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, it is definitely a daft midnight movie, but the extras are really good, and I'm that sad. The next one is Fulci's Zombie Flesh Eaters. That's all you need to say, because strangely enough, as I've started this channel and been exposed to more stuff, I have kind of got a soft spot for Fulci now. He might not be a great director, but working with the low budgets that he had, he did a lot of interesting work. Speaking of which, it's Fulci's The Beyond, the third in the trilogy of House by the Cemetery and the other one that I can't remember. And the last one, you'll be glad to know, is the Arrow special edition of Candyman, which again, this has a poster, a very nice booklet, charming imagery, and a 2-disc set with, what's it got? Yeah, it's got 2 different cuts. It's got a commentary by Stephen Jones, who's very good, and Kim Newman, who's very good. I mean, Stephen Jones, Kim Newman, Alan Jones, you know, it's almost worth buying Arrow titles just for their commentaries. Yeah, that does sound quite sad. And there's new interviews. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So again, it's maybe not a great film. Again, I haven't seen it for a long time, but the Arrow editions are just, I mean, for collectors or for enthusiasts, you know, Arrow and Indicator, well, you know yourselves, Arrow, Indicator, Criterion, Eureka, they're all fantastic. So that's the Candyman box set. So I want to thank you very much for bearing with me, if you have. And I certainly don't hold it against you if you've passed out halfway through this video. It has been a long one. Again, leave your comments on which film I should watch first. Good luck with that. And hopefully we shall see you again. This is Sol Sharon saying thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.